Ola campers, cambelts, cambelts. Right, here we go again. This is my original cambelt. 2004 Fiat Ducato 2.8. Original cambelt. Taken off the van on Friday. This is the new cambelt. Bought this week. Identical cambelt. It's really hard to show. Sort of like this in front of the camera, but the old one is exactly the same size. It's not stretched. It's not got no wear on the teeth. As I say, it's really difficult to show. But the thing is, everybody keeps saying, they say, oh, you've got to get the cam belt done. Probably right. Some cases you have to get the cam belt done. But this van is originally, well, it's an 04 edge, and it's never had the cam belt done. It's done 23,000 miles, and of course it's what are we now? It'll be 19 years old this year. And you know, people say, oh, you've got to get the cam belt done. It's either by the year or by the mileage. But all I'm saying is, my cam belt on my van looks like a new one. It looks like it did when it was bloody put on here, new. So I don't really know how many more years this could have lasted, but there's definitely no sign of any brittleness. There's definitely no sign of any wear. So it's lasted really well since 2004. You know, if I'd been able to see this, if this had able to have been inspected, there would have been no reason to arrange to get a new cam belt done. I don't believe there would anyway, because it's not cheap. I mean, some mechanics, they'll charge cam belt and water pump, they'll charge anything from about £400 to, I saw on one of the motorhome sites this week, somebody in one of these was charged £1,800 for a cam belt change and a water pump. That's ridiculous. I mean, anywhere you go, they'll say 3 to 4 hours to get both done. 3 to 4 hours is all you need to do something like that. So, and I know the price. I mean, you go on any motor factors and that, and I know the price of a water pump. I know the price of a cam belt kit. So that makes, you know, their labour charge over £200 an hour, which is absolutely ridiculous. If people want to pay that, they've you know, they've seen you coming. I mean, it's just modern day bloody pirates, aren't they? They're out to rob you. But the thing is, everybody says, oh, catastrophic, cam belt goes, thousands of pounds for the engine. But all I'm saying is, if I could have inspected, if I could have inspected this belt, or got somebody to inspect this belt, which is not a very easy thing to do on these Fiats because it's right down the side and it's well hidden without taking a lot of bits off. They could have inspected this belt, they'd have said, no, you don't need a cam belt. There's no reason to change it, because there's just no signs whatsoever. So I don't know whether this is it's fact or it's fiction, that every few thousand miles you should change these cam belts and change the water pump. I really don't know. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, But I think there's a lot of people out there in these Ducatos and well, whatever make motorhome really are being ripped off constantly. And the thing is as well, I didn't realise until this was started, this old one was taken off of my van, that you don't need to do the water pump. People say, oh, well, you need to do the water pump when you do the cam belt. But on a 2.8 Fiat Ducato, the same sort of age as mine, you don't need to do the water pump because it's not run by the cam belt. And if the water pump is working okay, why would you change it? You don't have to interfere with the cam belt again when you change it because it's run off something else. I'm not quite sure what runs a water pump, what turns it, but it definitely isn't the cam belt. So there you go. I think a lot of people, especially when they take their vehicles to these dealerships and saying you've got to have this done every 6,000 miles or whatever, or every, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I think they're ripping you off. Because going on what I can see, the evidence of mine, I mean, as I say, 18 to 19 years old, and the cam belt's fine. I know, you know, they say, I don't know, they say 50, 60,000 miles or something, or whichever is short or long or whatever, you know, the years, how old it is. But this, 18, 19 years old, 23,000 miles on the clock, and didn't need to be done. But one thing, the mechanic did look up to me and say that, oh, you know, he bought a new water pump, but he said there's no point in doing it. You know, I've got a new water pump here, but it's not operated off this cam belt, so I don't see any point in changing it because there's nothing wrong with it. It's working completely fine. It's not a high mileage vehicle, so I'll save a little bit of money on that. But it's like I say, garages, dealerships, anything up to £1,800, £2,000 to do a cam belt and a water pump, which is a total rip-off. 3 to 4 hours work for somebody who knows what they're doing, and the parts are relatively cheap. They're not very expensive. But saying all that, put that one back through there. My van, you can't really see it at the moment, but my van is jacked up at the front on the driver's side still. The mechanic came Friday. It was drizzling a bit. He said to me, he said, oh, that's okay, if you get wet, you get wet. He said it won't take long. After sort of 1.5 hours, he came up to the door and said, oh, I'm soaking wet now, I'm going to have to go. Now, a mobile mechanic, you think they have a bloody umbrella or a pop-up gazebo or something like that, but he said, I'm soaking wet, I have to go. But before he said that, he had a phone call, and he said, so he made out to me that he was going to another job, which was undercover, and he'd be back Saturday. But Saturday came, and it was raining, and he didn't turn up. So I got in touch, I rang up and said, you know, nobody's turned up here, you're supposed to be here today. And his wife answered and said, oh, well, he's still stuck on another job and he's soaking wet, so he can't come round today. He'll be round tomorrow to fix it, which is today, Sunday. It's Sunday now, it's mid-afternoon. I got a message today, oh, I forgot it's Mother's Day today, can't come today. So that really pees me off. I mean, my motorhome's stuck up, got an axle stand under the driver's side, wheels been put back on, but it's stuck up in the air. I've got nuts and bolts and bits everywhere all over the van. You know, to me, if you start a job, You don't go and do another job until you finish the job you're on. You definitely don't say, oh, I'll be back tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes, oh, I'll be back the next day. So started at 8:30 on Friday morning, and it's mid-afternoon Sunday now, and I still got no cam belt on, so I can't start the engine. So it's not good. I'm not happy. I'm trying not to swear on here because I want to get some more viewers, more YouTube views, and I don't want to go and blow that. So that's how it is at the moment. Little rant, little discussion, little debate, and I'll show you a couple of more bits. So tomorrow morning, come rain or shine or snow, I expect the mechanic to be here up 8:30 with his waterproofs on or an umbrella, and be putting my cam belt back on, or putting the new cam belt back on. I've yet to see any new tensioner, because I believe that you tensioner gets renewed when you do the cam belt as well. It comes in the cam belt kit. So I mean, otherwise, when it eventually does get done, if he says, oh, there's my bill, I won't pay him now, I'll say, well, I'll see if I can do it tomorrow if it's not raining, or maybe Tuesday, or may even be Wednesday, because if it's raining I can't go to the bank or whatever. Anyway, there's my rant. I want to swear and throw things about, but I'm not going to at the moment, but depends on tomorrow. See how I feel tomorrow, because otherwise I could start throwing something. Over and out.